Market holding tight this morning, waiting on tomorrow's inflation report. Here's what you need to know before the bell. This morning, futures are about flat on the NASDAQ and the S&P in anticipation, really, of tomorrow's CPI report. What will that report tell us about inflation? Is it remaining sticky? That's the big concern, of course. And right now, estimates are that inflation will only rise slightly. The problem with that is that if inflation comes in hotter than expected, that, of course, is going to potentially change that narrative from the FOMC at their last meeting, as they did state they were going to focus on incoming data in terms of what their next actions were in terms of rate hikes. In other words, most people are expecting that the last rate hike was the last rate hike for now. The problem is that if inflation data comes in much hotter than expected, and more importantly, the core inflation continues to remain very elevated, that would suggest that maybe the Fed is not done yet and further rate hikes are potentially coming. That changes the narrative for the markets, of course, and that's why this morning futures are kind of flat after this rally over the last couple of days based on earnings. We've had a fairly decent earnings season so far. It's not been nearly as dire as expected. In fact, it came in better than expected. But that is also kind of leading to this issue of inflation, future rate hikes, of course, more of a drag on economic growth. Concerns still exist that we'll have lower economic growth later this year because of these rate hikes. And now bank lending standards also becoming much more restrictive, according to the latest report. That will also act as rate hikes on the economy. So even though the market remains well confined here over the last several weeks, still on that sell signal, haven't changed that, but markets are waiting for this inflation report tomorrow as the next driver of potential outlook for the Fed and for the markets itself. Remain a little bit cautious here. Again, as we've talked about, use this rally to rebalance risk in portfolios. Doesn't hurt to raise a little bit of cash here, particularly heading into the summer months. But until this sell signal changes back into a buy signal, upside is probably somewhat limited for the markets for now. I'm your host, Lance Roberts, and that's what you need to know before the bell.